Hey everyone, what's up? We are here for day 30 and number 30 of 40 Days of Meatloaf and Gravy, titled, Have You Ever Heard of Joe Carr? I doubt it. Have you ever thought about what you want people to say at your funeral? What do you want people to say about you? When I was young, I thought I would want people to say how good I was at volleyball or sports in general. I would have liked them to say how smart I was. If anyone says that, they are just trying to be nice. I would have liked them to say I was funny. I think I am. Yes, he is. I could hear his thoughts in that. It's crazy. And throughout this whole book. But as you get older, priorities change. At least they should. And I think that is why God invented wisdom. A friend was preparing to speak at a funeral, and everyone he talked to said, he likes potatoes. This is pretty much all that anyone was able to say about him. I was preparing for a funeral where the family members I talked to had nothing that was of any great quality to share about their loved one at his funeral service. Fast forward to the day I am writing this. I just got home from a funeral. I knew it would be a good funeral before I got there. Ron Bachman was a man who loved much because he loved much. He was selfless, caring, dedicated, and fun. I could go on and on with many more great qualities. He was a man who left an amazing legacy in the life with people and for people, and a legacy of his faith and love for Jesus. I remember going to a funeral service when I was younger for a guy that I barely knew. I may have only met him once or twice. It was different than any other funeral I had gone to. I did not know Joe Carr, so it had to be quite a memorable service for me to still talk about it and write about it in this book. Why do I say it must have been quite memorable? Because it was 1992. 32 years ago, at the time I am typing this, they opened the mic up and people shared openly. One after another, and on it went. It was probably the longest service I have ever attended, and it was so good that you didn't want it to end. His service, to my recollection, was different. Things said about him weren't about accomplishments as much as he impacted people. Joe's funeral from 32 years ago and Ron's service from today made me realize these guys were two peas in a pod. Their love for people and God was so evident in their lives that people couldn't help but talk about it. These men impacted so many. How about you? What are people going to say about you? Hopefully, they won't only say, he loved potatoes. None of us should want to be that guy. If your life is not creating positive change for others or setting an example to live by, it's time for a change. If all they can say is, wow, he knew so much about whether sports or politics or even the Bible, if you do nothing for the welfare of others, as it says in the book of James, what good is it? How have your priorities changed? Or have they? Do you still want people saying things at your funeral like, he bungee jumped, skydived, drove a sweet car, could do 1,000 push ups, had a big, beautiful horse, or made a lot of money? If that's what you want and are striving for, that's sad. Let me tell you about one of the most remarkable monuments I have ever seen. The Joe Carr baseball field is right along the road as you drive through Churchtown, Pennsylvania. The field wasn't named after him because was a great baseball player. I almost said basketball player. Ignore what I just said there. about me almost saying it. It was named for him because he invested in the lives of young people. What is Jesus remembered for? Helping, healing, living simply, washing his students' feet, defending the weak, remaining silent, and much more. And what is his ultimately remembered for? Not just his life, but his death and then his life again. His life, his death, and his resurrection. Later, everyone, you all have a good rest of your day. See ya.